This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews, all on the app. Download today.
As a man, finding a truly great pair of pants can feel impossible. Some wrinkle the moment you sit down. Others look fine but don't travel well, don't move well, or completely lose their shape throughout the day. When you're flying, commuting, or packing light, most pants just aren't built for real life.
That's why there's Jack Archer. JackArcher.com makes the Jet Setter Tech Pant designed to be the one pair of pants you actually need. Comfortable enough for travel, polished enough for work, and versatile enough for wherever the day takes you. The Jet Setter Tech Pant is wrinkle-free, stain-resistant, and built for all-day comfort. With flexible stretch, customizable fit options, and thousands of 5-star reviews, these are the pants you'll reach for every day.
Jack Archer, ready when you are. For a limited time, get 15% off your first order using code GETJACK at jackarcher.com. Again, that's promo code GETJACK at jackarcher.com for 15% off your first order.
So here's the thing with homemade meals. Eating them is great, but all the chopping and measuring and cleanup, not so much. With new one-pan assemble and bake meals from Blue Apron, you get all the flavor of homemade meals with a fraction of the work. Just assemble the pre-chopped ingredients, bake in the oven, and enjoy. Shop, assemble, and bake at blueapron.com. Get 50% off your first 2 orders with code APRON50. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
Hello, this is Paul Solentrop of Wichita State University Strategic Communications. Join us each Saturday at 10 a.m. on KFH for the Roundhouse Podcast. We talk with Shocker athletes and Shocker coaches to take fans behind the scenes. Saturday at 10 a.m. on KFH.
Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey Wichita, it's Jacob Albracht. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next, exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report from San Francisco on Super Bowl's famed Radio Row. I probably should have seen this coming, but honestly, I thought this was the year the Patriots owner Robert Kraft finally got into the Hall of Fame. Denied again. Look, I get the argument that neither of these two are for everyone, but there are only 50 voters on the committee, and while I don't exactly know what the criteria is, I know what it shouldn't be. Do I like this guy or not? Is this guy a bag or not? Is this candidate worthy or not? And clearly both these dudes are. Belichick absolutely should have gone in on the first try, and given the owners who are in, I could argue Kraft should have too. But even if he didn't go in on the first ballot, there's no way this dude should have missed 14 times now. Clearly the system is jacked. Clearly having to group coaches, contributors, and seniors on the same ballot is going to keep deserving candidates out. The system is broken, and it needs to be fixed yet again, because Kraft should not be inducted while lying in a pine box in the ground. I'm Jim Rome.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Hyde.
Well, hello there, everybody. Glad to be here with you today on a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. We're getting there with the Hawaiian. I'm getting closer to not having to, wear a long sleeve shirt over the top of the not matching Hawaiian shirts just to, in spirit get the holiday celebrated. But that's where we are right now. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope everybody's enjoying the slightly warmer weather as we barrel into the first nice weekend, I was told, TJ, in 6 weeks. It's been 6 weeks since we've had good weather on a weekend. We've had the unlucky timing lately, but we should be getting a little better here coming into the weekend, so hope everybody can enjoy it. We've got a good show coming for you today. It is Wednesday. That means we have a visit from our KU insider, Shreyas Laddha. Plenty to talk about with the Jayhawks and their big win over Texas Tech and everything else that's been going on. Reaction to the reaction after the BYU game as it concerns Darren Peterson, and then parlaying that into a complete game right after. So we'll have that for you. Get you ready for a shocker game tonight. Big one. Revenge on the mind. Wichita State, Charlotte. The game they shouldn't have lost. Now they can make up for it. And it's a big one in the standings again. Can they bounce back immediately from Tulsa? We'll find out. We'll dig into that game just a little bit as well. And TJ had a chance to catch up with Gene Taylor yesterday, who did give some thoughts on the state of the basketball program. So we'll kind of recap that a little bit as well. It's all what's on tap. Brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring the Coca Dolce Dubai Chocolate Porter at all 3 WBC locations. Treat yourself and your sweetie to this special seasonal brew, Coca Dolce Dubai Chocolate Porter, infused with Coca Dolce chocolate, available now at WBC. Pizza and beer made here. TJ, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Jacob. I can't believe in all the things that you said that what are on tap. We didn't talk about the Pro Bowl. Did you watch?
Oh no, I did not.
I did. Let me just start the show off by this. I watched it last night, kind of as like a, I don't know, ironic watch, just to say like, what does this even turn into? I need to see what this is actually going to be like, and it was pretty silly. And it's a flag football game. I don't know what you expected, but after about a quarter, I was like, you know what? I'm locked in on this now. This is a football game. Let's go.
I'm excited about it being an Olympic sport. I am.
So you didn't watch. So this was a run. It was Scott Van Pelt, Jason Kelsey, and Dan Orlovsky calling the game, and they were just messing around. It's a flag football game, and they had like an actual like NFL flag officiating crew because it's a sport. Like it's not football rules. There's rules of like when you can blitz and there's a pass clock. You have to throw. You can't just float around in the pocket. Like all these different rules are different than normal football. And this referee crew was like full on. They were calling everything, and like they were like, "Come on, guy! Like just let them play."
Well, listen, that's going to be an Olympic sport.
I know. That's what Steve Young was the coach of the AFC, and he said he was talking. They showed him in the locker room pregame, and he was like, "Listen, guys, he's like, I understand we're playing flag football, but how many of you guys in here want a gold medal? You need to learn how to play this."
You need to learn how to play it. You're got to debut a little bit, audition for the ability to go represent Team USA. The Olympics start this weekend, so it's not that I don't like the idea of it. I think it's as fine as any way to do an exhibition football game, right? I like whatever.
Honestly, I'll say this is so silly. It's silly because first of all, you're right what you said like a week ago. The accolade part of it needs to stop. Like being a Pro Bowler doesn't mean anything anymore.
And now it's all pro, right? Yeah.
But the Pro Bowl, as it currently stands, may be more entertaining than the tackle football, but nobody wants to tackle each other.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Again, I have no problem with the idea of doing flag football. I think the skills challenge is, do they still do that? Because they used to, and this thing was in Hawaii when I was a kid, when ESPN was moderately young, like this time of year is when you were like thriving on ESPN because you got the most obscure things like they'd have Sports Center, and then they didn't have any programming back then. I think they had Sunday Night Football was their thing, and then Sunday Night Baseball. And then it was stuff like this. You'd have home run derbies, random like one-on-one home run derbies from the 80s, or Pro Bowl skills challenges. And they just replay that stuff all year long. And so like I'm nostalgic for that kind of thing, but it's fine. It is what it is. What do people expect? Like, what do you expect? It's an exhibition game. None of them are that good. So we put way too much. Oh, they're so like, watch it or don't watch it.
Exactly. First of all, the people that are gonna whine and moan about this, how many of you were watching the Pro Bowl anyways? Whenever it was tackle football, like that's a very to me the whole point of the Pro Bowl, which my wife kind of made this point last night, so credit to her for this, is that like the only people that really care about the Pro Bowl are like kids that want to see all the stars play together.
That's right.
Like. For people that are the football watchers, typically, like it's never going to be a normal football game. It never was a normal football game outside of the highlight reel of Sean Taylor obliterating people in the Pro Bowl. It's always just been silly of what they're doing. Like watch the old PATs in the Pro Bowls in Honolulu. Nobody cared at all. Like it's just cool to see. Now I think it's just turned into like, hey, you want to see Joe Burrow running for a touchdown? Here you go.
Yeah, you just celebrating the game a little bit. It is what it is. Have fun with it. It's an exhibition game. It's not that big a deal. It's not.
The other side of this now is the snafu of all this stuff, which is going to be a full Pro Bowl segment. I'm sorry for whatever you want to talk about. The offensive linemen and defensive linemen, they don't go on the field. There's none. So they were just kind of hanging out. They eventually put in the Broncos. I don't know if he's a center or what he is. Offensive lineman. He was hiking the ball. Everybody's an eligible receiver in flag football as well. So you have somebody hike and they can run a route. So they put him in to play center, and then he caught a 2-point conversion and a touchdown.
I was about to say, why is Creed Humphrey not lined up in the slot?
They Jerry Rice said, "I'm trying to put him out there. They don't want to play."
If you want prime entertainment, you get the big fellas out there and you let them rip. Who's going to play quarterback? Can Trey Smith sling it? That's what the fans want. No, it's fine. I'm coaching 5th grade basketball practice on Tuesday nights and running the rat race. Like I'm not recording the Pro Bowl to come back to it later. It's
also, why is it on a Tuesday night? What the hell is that?
Because nobody cares, and there's nothing going on a Tuesday night.
We can't give up the 1:00 slot on a Sunday because it's too busy airing American Conference basketball.
It's interesting that we say that. This is why I've always thought the Big 12 had a huge opportunity to market itself as this next best league, which is what I think Brett Yormark's doing. And this goes for college basketball across the country, but just as it pertains to, to our part of the world, if you can get people fired up right now, you've got a handful of NBA games typically you're competing with. That's about it until baseball starts. Like this is college basketball's window, and we all want to watch something. So the more of Darren Peterson on a Monday night we can get, or how good Arizona is hosting BYU the other night, like that's got some legs. The more run the Tech fans chanting at Peterson, Bill, like the more of that we can get, the more it's going to benefit the league. I think there's a big opportunity here for college basketball to continue to grow, and I think it will. If we keep seeing a product like we're seeing. College basketball is awesome. It's easier to watch. It's faster to get in and out of the game. And I think we're seeing that a little bit. I'd be curious to see some ratings numbers for college basketball. Speaking of, let's talk about college basketball when we return. We've got reaction to Hawk Talk from Bill Self a little bit, but I want reaction from Gene Taylor. TJ, your conversation with him, because as a part of another conversation, you were able to ask him about the state of the basketball program. It's got people talking, so we'll talk about it next on Sports Daily.
.5 and 1240 KFH.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews, all on the app. Download today.
Buying pants shouldn't take this much effort. Too many options, inconsistent sizing, and styles that don't work across your day. You want something comfortable, sharp, and reliable without guessing, returning, or buying 5 different pairs. That's why there's Jack Archer.
Ah, yes. JackArcher.com simplifies everything with the Jet Setter Tech Pant. One versatile pair designed to take you from work to weekend without missing a beat. Easy to wear, easy to style, and easy to shop for. The Jet Setter Tech Pant is wrinkle-free, stain-resistant, and built for all-day comfort. They stretch, breathe, and hold their shape, giving you a consistent fit and polished look every time. Backed by thousands of 5-star reviews, they're the dependable pants you'll reach for daily.
Jack Archer, ready when you are. For a limited time, get 15% off your first order with code GETJACK at jackarcher.com. Again, that's promo code GETJACK at jackarcher.com for 15% off your first order.
So here's the thing with homemade meals. Eating them is great, but all the chopping and measuring and cleanup, not so much. With new one-pan assemble and bake meals from Blue Apron, you get all the flavor of homemade meals with a fraction of the work. Just assemble the pre-chopped ingredients, bake in the oven, and enjoy. Shop Assemble and Bake at BlueApron.com. Get 50% off your first 2 orders with code APRON50. Terms and conditions apply. Visit BlueApron.com/terms for more.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic. The main roads are looking good, but there's road work on Southeast Boulevard northbound at 31st Street, and it's causing a slight backup. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey Wichita traffic.
Weather. A few sprinkles this morning, otherwise cloudy and cool. High temperature 43. Northwest wind 5 to 15. Becoming clear with some fog late tonight. Overnight low 25. Sunny, breezy, and warmer on Thursday, a high of 60. More sunshine on Friday and a high of 62. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
The Seahawks are going to Super Bowl 60. It's a rematch with the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara.
Sunday, February 8th, complete coverage of the big game is on Westwood One. Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Graham. Join Kevin Harlan, Kurt Warner, Laura Oakman, Gene Steratore, Ryan Harris, and me for all the action. If it's Super Bowl 60, it's on Westwood One.
Wichita's official radio voice of the NFL, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
Sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. New England, we no longer have a problem. Drake May took the podium on Monday and said his shoulder is feeling good. I still like the Seahawks to beat the Patriots, but this feels like a brand new ball game. Are we going to see a healthy Drake May versus this killer Seattle's defense? I like it. I'm Maddie Bates.
Oh, okay, take it easy. We're going on the air.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
All right, everybody, welcome back into Sports Daily here on a Wednesday morning. Heavy college basketball talk as the Pro Bowl segment is officially wrapped up here on Sports Daily. We pivot now to the Kansas State Wildcats, who, if we're talking about Kansas State Wildcat basketball on the program, it's typically not the reason that Kansas State basketball fans would like us to talk about Kansas State basketball on the program. We're talking about my conversation yesterday with Gene Taylor. We get some context as to what the athletic department kind of thinks about the skidding Cats. Or they lost 8 of their last 9, Jacob?
Yeah, it's not good. Look, I haven't even, to be perfectly honest with you, like I haven't even looked at the streak itself, or I know they're in last place, and I know they continue to just sort of reach new depths. right? They just got beat by 34 at home. The KU loss was really bad. That one was also at home. That doesn't help. They looked okay against West Virginia. They gave it a good effort. They beat Utah. They lost by 1 in head-scratching fashion sort of to Oklahoma State. They've been better on the road, believe it or not. Arizona State, like if you go back and look, they lost to Arizona State, which they got smoked by Arizona, but Arizona State was a 3-point loss. Oklahoma State, a 1-point loss. West Virginia, a 5-point loss. But then you look at what's happening at Bramlage. A 9-point loss to UCF. Then they won, but then a 24-point loss to Kansas, a 34-point loss to Iowa State. It's that it seems like it's like impossible to turn it around, I guess, that's making it worse than it is. It's now, after a post game, catching a coach who doesn't seem as concerned about it as the rest of us, which of course he is. That's where I think people are losing it a little bit. Listen, everybody, the reality is there's a $20 million buyout on the table. Like, I don't think that's happening right now. So that's where it gets into like, okay, Gene Taylor, like what are fans supposed to think at the moment? Not just that they're not winning, but they now we're into this point where it's like, do the players care? Do the coaches care? Like, those are the questions we have to ask, because that's kind of the vibe we're getting on this.
Yeah. So talking to Gene yesterday, basically just, left an open comment for him to say what he, kind of felt on the situation of what the state of the Cats are across all sports. And then he kind of got to men's basketball, and he's basically like, listen, man, like it stinks. Like, and we know it stinks, and we know that the frustrations are out there from the fan base, and we understand the frustrations because we're frustrated too. He said there's nobody more frustrated than the people that are inside the basketball facility. And then kind of just, asked about if he had, any involvement within the struggles, if his hand is in the pot, so to speak, basically. And he said, nope. He's like, I'm not a basketball coach. I'm going to let the basketball coaches try to figure this thing out, and I trust that they can figure out a way to get it back on the tracks.
And good administrators do that, by the way. They don't get involved in the day-to-day of basketball. Yeah. They care about results. They care about, vibe, the school. And that's the problem, is the vibe is so bad. That is his problem, right? If you need to have a conversation with Jerome Tang that says, hey, man, like, stop alienating the fan base. How about? Like, no amount of Wabash cannonballs after wins are going to make up for the fact that they feel like you're not doing everything you can to win games. We all know Jerome Tang cares that they're losing. He just isn't very good at taking blame and not making excuses for his players, because he's a player's coach. And I think he's so laser focused on that group. You at least have to pretend like you care just as much about what's happening for the fans. And I think that he does, but when you go back and listen to what he's saying, like, he's clearly trying to not discourage his players. Maybe they are dealing with something, extraordinary, as far as just different from what they'd normally deal with. I don't know. But like, he's too much like defending them. They're not playing well. You don't have to defend them not playing well. You can defend them as individuals. You can defend them as people. You can defend them by talking about how hard they're practicing and that the effort's there. But you can't defend getting beat by 34 at home. You can't. That's indefensible.
It's weird because I honestly, if I would be a K-Stater here, I would just chalk it up to a bad moment from Jerome Tang. Is it a bad moment that you can feel something about? That's fine. But also, as we say that thing, we've heard him say 2 weeks ago that David Castillo needs to play better. Like, although that too, but not even that. I'm saying he has called out his team before, and then he called out his team and said, these two need to play better. I hope that this team is pissed and they listen to us. Like, that's happened, and it's just that's what we talked about here, is that, like, it's a different storyline each game because there's different comments kind of made each game. And some of them have been targeting his team. Some of them have been targeting something else to maybe defer, if you want to think about it that way. And then, what he said last time, is kind of just riding his team's back, probably because he knows how pissed off a fan base is. And now it feels like when you do something like this, I'm not saying this is what he's trying to do, but when you do something like this, that's saying like, I don't care that the fan base is pissed off.
Well, he's in defense mode, right? It's the media against me, which is whatever, who cares? But that's the way he feels. And probably, like, if we remember the way Coleman Hawkins was treated, I would imagine life on campus isn't fun for the team right now. And that's probably what pisses Jerome Tang off. And it would piss me off, too, if I was a coach. Like, hey, fans, because fans, the most vocal fans are the most annoying fans. Like, this isn't pros. This isn't, I know players are getting paid now, but these kids live on campus. Like, they're your classmates, they're your peers. The getting online and like trashing players is such a stupid thing.
I talked to you about this again. Speaking of our headlines that you didn't see, the burner verse. Are you aware of the burners?
No.
Right now, that's the biggest thing across all of college sports is everybody's got a burner account, and so there's all these super, not even super popular. Everybody's got accounts that aren't their real accounts. They're a separate account that's specifically made for K-State commentary or KU commentary or Wichita State commentary. And they get a lot of viral stuff because they put out a lot of funny stuff, but they're also are kind of hiding behind people not knowing who they are. So they can say whatever they want. And they go after these guys and sit there and say, Jerome Tang, you need to be fired. And Gene Taylor, you stink at your job. And you suck at playing point guard. And it's like, were you going to tell them that when you're at their face? Like, this is a different conversation. We're talking about just I know there's a little bit of irony here, but like the generation that we're talking about here. You know what I mean?
But my generation creates burner accounts and talks trash.
It's true. It's not even. It's not even a generation.
It's a personality.
Thing.
Like
it's just the current landscape, I guess, is the way because everybody's doing it.
The type of people that are going to do that, you can't worry about how they feel. Okay, like that's not who you should ever be aiming to please. But that's not the people that are the bread and butter of your fan base either. The people that are in that arena that paid money to come watch.
Yeah, you need to take more stock.
Actively cheering for the team that are doing. Those are the people you need to worry about.
Yeah, you need to take.
That's
you need
there
to
every
take
day.
More.
Like, yeah, there's media that will get an agenda, and that shouldn't happen either. But for the most part, they're covering the team that allows you to be paid a bunch of money, and they're covering the team to try to generate the revenue to pay a bunch of players. If you can't appreciate the job there or the fans that are, working to spend their money, then you've got a problem, especially when you're one of the leaders on campus. You should always be primarily concerned with, what your program is providing the university and what people like. That should always be a coach's concern.
To Jerome Tang's point, he's actually always been pretty good at this. I feel like he takes the most stock in the butts in the seats. And I think that after Iowa State, there was not a single soul in that arena for good reason. It was a 40-point game.
Blame him?
No. That's, I think, I don't think that Jerome Tang is getting on social media at night and searching up his name and just getting pissed off at the world. But I'm sure I'm sure that though there's more and more of this, I'm sure that it's not hard for him to come across. But you know what I mean? Like, he's not actively searching for haters. The haters are actively coming towards him at this point.
I think it's gotten a little toxic. I think he probably is, or he wouldn't know what the media or whatever he said is clipping out and putting on. Like, he wouldn't know that stuff if he really didn't care. Of course he cares. How could you not care, right? When the world is crumbling around you and it feels like everybody has given up on you. Now, then there's what you talked about with Gene Taylor. Doesn't sound to me like Gene Taylor's given up on him. There is a reality to this situation, and that is that $20 million doesn't grow on trees. It especially doesn't grow on trees.
I honestly, I've thought of exactly. That's exactly right. The second point you just said. If this this may infuriate K-State fans if you're anti-Tang right now. This is a year late. If this happened literally last year, it may have been able to get done. But I think with the current model of rev share, I don't think it's possible. Like, unless somebody hands you a check for $20 million, and then you have to look at that check and say, like, are you sure you don't want to just give $20 million to our football team? Yeah, or something. You want to build a roster with this $20 million? Like, are you sure you want to use that for that? Like, that's where we are. And like, that is a number on your books. Like, and so are the players. Last year, the players weren't on your books. That was the Wildcat NIL's problem, and they would figure it out. Now it's like, that's the same money, and that money could be spent somewhere else. And that hurts to spend that money.
I think there's some gray area in there, but yes, I agree. Like, it's not a feasible thing anymore. And it's why they have to stop writing contracts this way, by the way. It's not feasible anymore for most schools to just stroke checks for $20 million on a buyout. And K-State doesn't have a history of doing that either, by the way. Bruce Weber got a long leash. And so I think the reality of this, and K-State fans probably don't want to hear this morning, is that the answer to all of this is going to be try again next year.
It is. I honestly, I think that you and I are in the same camp. And again, we're not getting up here and, speculating when people need to get fired from their job and everything like that. But like, I can't see a world, and I think you're in the same way, that it happens this year. And I don't even know if it's going to happen next year.
You give me a handful more like we just saw against Iowa State, and that becomes a trend.
Like, honestly, like, how bad does it have to get for you to want to spend $20 million? Like,
you don't have it right now. Like, that's the thing. It's not that they've got the money ready in an account. It would take some fan base, some donor stuff getting together and being like, here's the deal. Here's how this is going to go down.
I don't know. It's such a weird conversation, and I get it. Like, it's bad right now, and it wasn't very good last year, and it was,
or the year before that.
It was slightly bad that year before. They just missed the tournament, and like, I don't know. I mean, I guess you go on a strike before it maybe gets even worse, but then again, like,
I don't think so. Doing something right this second accomplishes nothing.
No, it doesn't. I know.
So it does. This is all an after the season conversation. So you play it out, and then you have to evaluate things. But the reality is, it's that my belief is the most likely scenario right now is that they finish it out and they try again next year. The roster is going to be completely different. I mean, in all of this, what's so funny to me is, like, in all of this, all of the blaming things and getting upset and all of it, the only thing I really care about and I wonder about all day when I'm thinking about this is Jerome Tang actually a good coach? Like, can he actually coach?
As much as
I wonder about.
As much as us armchair watchers, like, think about that, because it's been a thing since the year first year they didn't make the tournament. But like, he was the Naismith Coach of the Year. Like, that is a thing that happened 4 years ago.
Yep.
You think about whenever they played Wichita State last season, like, Paul Mills after the game went in that press conference room full of K-State media and said, I know what you all are saying about Jerome Tang. That dude is a basketball genius. I sat on a bench with that guy for 15 years. He is one of the smartest basketball coaches I've ever seen in my life.
But it's not translating. Right,
it's not, and I agree. That's the hard part of this. But there's something there that Scott Drew saw for decades, Paul Mills saw next to him for a decade, that the national world saw for a year. And I get Marquise and Keontae were part of that, and they were all Americans. But like, Rutgers had the number 2 and 5 pick last year, and they didn't make the tournament. Like, there's something that was there. It just has to. You have to find it again.
And so then you look at it as, is he not appropriately bringing in or evaluating the portal players the right way? Because we know the resources there. They spend a lot of money. So can you get him help in identifying better fits? I mean, he's a player's coach, which only takes you so far.
That was something as well. Kellis Robinette put a story out yesterday, basically on the whole contract situation and what would be at stake, and his buyouts are astronomical and everything. The assistant coaches are only on 1-year deals. That's all they ever signed. So basically, they could start fresh with everybody except Jerome Tang, bring an entire new assistant coaching staff and try that, which I don't know if that will happen or not. But like, they kind of tried this year with Matthew Driscoll coming in, the North Florida coach, to say, like, this guy is a offensive guru. He's going to set it up, and it seemed like it worked for 2 months, and now it doesn't.
I think, look, there is room for it to get better than, if Iowa State's rock bottom They get games at TCU, Cincinnati, Baylor's coming up, Colorado. You can take West Virginia at home. Like there's some wins out there possibly, but not if they played anywhere close to the way they played against Iowa State. Not like that ain't happening. But their offense has not been as good. You know, that's you bring up that offense, TJ, 62, 54, 61 points in their last 3 games. I thought this was supposed to be a great offensive team.
Speaking of this, by the way, you were talking about the results here. It's let me pull this up actually while we're talking about this. The amount of teams that they've played, when you looked at it, you're like, oh, that was bad, and it's like, well, maybe that wasn't that bad. They're actually kind of good because college basketball is just so insane right now. Let me pull up there. Here you go. Obviously Tulsa is one that we talked about early on. And this one, they narrowly got by Tulsa. Tulsa is currently 18-3. They almost beat Nebraska. Nebraska is one of the best teams in the entire country. They've got blown out by Indiana. They're where they? I don't even know where they are.
I don't know what Indiana's doing.
I saw them last night. They were playing USC. I don't think they're ranked right now, actually. Then you go down here, and it's like, 9-point loss to UCF. You thought that was one that you could get. UCF is probably in the top 6 in the conference now.
7, but they're right there. They're tournament team.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Again, like it's the problem for me is the losses are a problem, but it's the last 2 home efforts have been piss poor. That's
by the way, I'm not saying that as defending the loss to Bowling Green, Seton Hall, Arizona State, Oklahoma. Those are heavier on the standings.
Like they can't find the consistency. Like I still think, and they're banged up, right? And that's been a big problem. But they should still be able to score. They should still be able to give us an exciting brand. So we'll see. Gene Taylor, I didn't get any indication listening to what he told you that there's anything imminent. They're going to ride this out. I would guess and tell you that it's probably a try again next year situation. We'll talk to Tim Fitzgerald about it tomorrow. I know K-State fans don't want to hear that, but
let me say this as well. It's notable because we haven't heard him talk about it yet. Like that's the first comment that we've heard of Gene Taylor talking about the struggles. But also, do you want your boss going on the record and saying, "Yeah, that dude sucks at his job"? Like no AD in the country would have said that.
The accountability's got to come from somewhere, right? And so, that's the conversation.
That's the conversation to be had. But again, what did you really expect him to say?
Yeah, and the fact that the contract is in this situation to begin with is also a part of the conversation for sure. All right, we'll come back. Let's talk a little about what Bill Self said yesterday when we return.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews, all on the app. Download today.
As a man, finding a truly great pair of pants can feel impossible. Some wrinkle the moment you sit down. Others look fine but don't travel well, don't move well, or completely lose their shape throughout the day. When you're flying, commuting, or packing light, most pants just aren't built for real life.
That's why there's Jack Archer. JackArcher.com makes the Jet Setter Tech Pant designed to be the one pair of pants you actually need. Comfortable enough for travel, polished enough for work, and versatile enough for wherever the day takes you. The Jet Setter Tech Pant is wrinkle-free, stain-resistant, and built for all-day comfort. With flexible stretch, customizable fit options, and thousands of 5-star reviews, these are the pants you'll reach for every day.
Jack Archer, ready when you are. For a limited time, get 15% off your first order using code GETJACK at jackarcher.com. Again, that's promo code GETJACK at jackarcher.com for 15% off your first order.
You walk in tired and hungry, one bad dinner away from losing it. You don't like to cook. You don't want more takeout. You just want something good. That's why there's Dish by Blue Apron. Pre-made meals with at least 20 grams of protein and no artificial flavors or colors. From fridge to fork in 5 minutes or less. Keep the flavor. Ditch the subscription. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
What's up? It's Draymond Green. I'm back for my 14th NBA season, and my podcast, The Draymond Green Show, is back too. This season, I'm breaking down games, reacting to the biggest NBA stories, and sitting down with teammates, rivals, and culture shapers. And trust me, I'm not holding back, on the court or on the mic. 2 new episodes every week. New segments, big conversations, real basketball talk for the real hoop heads. Listen to and follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're back, we're better, let's get it.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic. Be aware of road work on Southeast Boulevard northbound at 31st Street. It's causing a slight backup. And heading on to K96 eastbound from I-235, expect some delays. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey Wichita traffic.
Weather. A few sprinkles this morning, otherwise cloudy and cool. High temperature 43. Northwest wind 5 to 15. Becoming clear with some fog late tonight. Overnight low 25. Sunny, breezy, and warmer on Thursday, a high of 60. More sunshine on Friday and a high of 62. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Right now, the Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick. But the voters voted. I don't like the process of it. You have every right. If you don't want to vote Bill Belichick, you think he's a cheater, and I'm going to get my pound of flesh here. Okay. If you tell me that, there should be transparency with this. Just tell me. You did or you didn't.
The Dan Patrick Show. Middays from 11 until 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH. More people listen to KFH than any other sports radio station in South Central Kansas, including Wichita. This is 97.5 and 1240 KFH. The commercials are over.
Yo, I haven't got all day.
869-1240.
Time to get busy.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
Welcome back in, everybody. Glad to be here with you on a Wednesday. Jacob Albracht, TJ Cleveland, a Hawaiian shirt Wednesday. Thanks to Crestview Country Club. Almost time to break out the Hawaiians out on the golf course. It's good. TJ, it's a good, easy, maybe some Hawaiian like golf shirts, a good, easy toe in the water to get in on. I
do. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've got some pretty, out there patterned golf shirts. They aren't quite florals. But I got one for Christmas, actually, that has a bunch of little golfers, like, snapping clubs over their legs.
That's not Hawaii. You got to get the floral. Get some floral in there and break it in. Up. Sometimes outrageous works, right? Sometimes outrageous works. So your little golfers, that's not Hawaiian, though, is it?
It's not Hawaiian per se, but it's more than a plain polo.
That's true. I like it. Listen, I like it. I like the idea, but I don't know if it counts. I'll have to let Max be the judge of that. Try it out. Maybe next Wednesday, and we'll let him look at it. But thanks to Crestview Country Club, 36 holes of golf. It is, I'm going to guess, mostly melted out there. I haven't checked. I'm going to try to least get out to the range Friday.
I was trying to golf yesterday, but it was a little too. I imagined that under the trees was going to be a little snowy, and the bunkers would be snowy, and I did not want to mess with it. We got one tomorrow morning. I'm going to mentally prepare myself all night.
Yeah, I don't know if today will be the day, but tomorrow and Saturday will be a little windy, but it looks like we got some days. 36 holes at Crestview. Ask them about their different memberships. Tell them we sent you here from Sports Daily. All right, TJ, Bill Self talked last night on Hawk Talk, which is, an environment where he maybe can have a little more fun, be a little more lighthearted, and, he addressed the chants coming in from the Tech crowd yesterday.
He did.
Basically saying thank you to the Tech fans, which is funny, right? That's kind of what KU fans are all thinking. Again, I'll still say I think Tech fans were correct in their ribbing of Darren Peterson, but But did it motivate him at all? I don't know. I mean, I hope it did. Again, I go back to what I said, and this is probably where Bill Self's having fun with it. Like, that's the kind of thing, if you're a KU fan, you should want Darren Peterson to feel every single time he goes on the road. Like, get that juice, that energy, put it right in his veins, make him fall in love with this. And again, this is all assuming it's not as simple as he feels a cramp, he's coming out of the game and he's not coming back, which is where kind of I think things are going. But, maybe it's just a little bit extra, I can't come out of this game right now. Like, there's no way.
There's something to be said about that, maybe because we don't know if he did or not. He said he didn't, but I feel like he, what if he did? And it's just like, no, I'm not coming out of this game. Like, I'm not going to sit there and listen to that and then come out of this game. Like, keep me in, let me hit a game winner. And he did.
Or it's as simple as he didn't feel the cramps. So he just kept playing. Yeah, which is probably more likely.
Either way, it's good news.
It is good news. It's good news for him to feel it. So they get ready for, a weekend of basketball that should be, and this is always, a dangerous thought process, but Utah's not that good this year. You get them at home. I've seen a lot of people say, well, rest Peterson, just, rest him for the next one. But I don't think it works that way. Like, I don't think it's that simple. Play him, and let's see if he can score 50. That's kind of how I feel about it. Let's see what he gets out there and can do. I do think, though, like, the more KU's offense has to develop without him getting them easy buckets, the better it is for KU long term. I think they can be, we've seen in the last couple of games, elite defensively when he's out there and when he's not out there. Can they be elite offensively when he's not out there? I don't think that they can, but they can still be effective when he's not out there.
Yeah, they can. And it's the conversation that we've had the entire time of, can they switch mid-game and do that kind of thing? But I think that we're getting to a point, maybe it's wishful thinking, but I feel like we're getting to a point where it's not going to be as much of I say this 2 games removed from BYU, obviously, but maybe that is something to where it's like we can see him go out and come back in, and it's not going to be 40 minutes. I don't think it's ever going to be 40 minutes. 35 was actually, I didn't think it was going to get that high this past game, but I don't know. Am I crazy in thinking that I feel like it's getting better?
Well, I mean, yes, you're a little crazy, but because I follow camp because we saw it at Tech, but the game before he didn't play in the second half of BYU, basically. So I think we're overthinking the whole thing. Like, I think we want to see him play against Tech, and then our brain is, okay, he's good now. Like, now he can just play. But we've seen him play full games, Colorado, and that was through an injury. But if the cramps come, like he's done, and I think the issue all year has been they don't know when they're coming. He doesn't know when they're coming. Bill Self doesn't know when they're coming. Nobody knows when they're coming. But when they come, he's done. And I don't know how I think if we're being responsible, we just sit here and say, boy, I hope the cramps don't come the next game.
Yeah.
Not, I think they might or they think they might not, because there's been no indication or rhyme or reason to when it's happened or why it's happened.
It's true. I don't know. All that we know is that whenever he's on the court and is making shots, he slumped this last game. I mean, they are right there, able to beat Arizona, beat anybody they want to beat.
I love so much about that Tech game. I love that they won, obviously, but I love that they won in a game where he wasn't very good for most of it. I love that they won a game where they couldn't really generate much offense, where they were out-rebounded, where Tech got on a run. Like, all the things that they were able to just, absorb and play through on the road to still get that win was as old school Bill Self Jayhawks as you can ever see. And it just we haven't seen that in a while, where they snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, kind of a thing. Like,
no.
If you're a Tech fan, you're just looking at that thinking, the hell did that happen? Mm-hmm. We were at home. We were up 10. We were killing them. And they beat it. How did they win that game? Like, that's the way everybody felt about Kansas for 15 years. Like, how did that happen to us? And so that was the part for me. Like, that's the kind of thing in a tournament format. Like, you're going to come out in some random gym in Sacramento, and you're not going to shoot it well. Still find a way to win that game when you're playing a good team. That's what they showed us against Texas Tech. And is Kansas going to walk in the door and be the favorite to win a national championship at any point this year? I doubt it. I don't think so. So they're going to have to, at some point, if they get on some kind of a run, be in some of these underdog, as much as they ever can be, type situations and thrive in it. And Monday night, they thrived in it. They did. That's a pretty big underdog there for them, 4.5 points. And they thrived in it.
What do you think the spread's going to be against Arizona? Think you'll be favored?
Boy, that's a good question.
I bet they're going to be like 2-point dogs.
I bet it's 1.5.
Because they're going to be top 10 when that rolls around.
Assuming they handle business against Utah. It'll probably be 1.5 either direction. Has Kansas been a home dog this year? They haven't, have they?
I think that they well, I guess not. I don't think they have.
Against BYU.
UConn they were.
Their home dog, yeah.
Without Peterson.
Oh, that's right, because we knew that. Yeah, that's probably right. So it's not out of the ordinary for Vegas to do that. BYU was not a home dog to Arizona. So Kansas is probably not going to be a home dog to Arizona.
Yeah, then I agree.
That BYU game, you could get it 1.5 either direction on different sites. Like you could get Arizona -1.5, you could get BYU -1.5. So that's kind of what I'm feeling, I guess. I assume it'll get somewhere in that range. That is a fascinating matchup.
That might I didn't peg it as that in the preseason. Everybody always talked about that BYU game as soon as the schedule came out because of DeBonta, but right. I mean, this is Koa Pete versus Darren Peterson, and probably number 1 versus number 8 or whatever you want to say. Like this might be the actual game of the year a week later.
Well, you like
at 8 o'clock on a Monday.
You like that it's coming at home right now. I think I wonder. I can't decide, to be perfectly honest with you, TJ. I can't decide if I like Arizona or Houston more. You get them both at Allen Fieldhouse. You have to go back to Tucson. You don't go on the road to Houston. Either give me either one of those games, I think, to fit that definition, and I'd agree with it. But I don't know which one yet. I mean, they got to go to Iowa State's going to be awesome. That's a nationally televised game, of course. Like they have some really fun and cool and interesting games still left on the schedule to test this team. And back to the original point there about the environment, like to get Peterson some of that. Like get him more of those road games. Give him every bit. Iowa State is going to let him have it. Give it to him. Let him embrace that. Let him feel that energy. He's been around Allen Fieldhouse enough to know he knows that energy. Give him that road. If he reminds everybody of Kobe, right? Give him some of that. Give him some spite in there. Like give him a chance to go prove him wrong, kind of a thing.
Yep, I agree. I'm right there, and I think that it's I don't know. I think it's good for him too, because I think that not only is it good for him to get to feel that atmosphere, it's good for everybody else watching it, because there's been the narrative that's already been made about him. Everybody loves him, but the whole country after he left at halftime at BYU is calling him soft. You've got 15 games left to your college career. You're probably the number 1 pick anyways, but you want to blow some people out of the water? Here's your chance to do it. You have 2 top 10 games coming up in a week.
I have to be careful when I use this term. It follows the spoiled KU fans. Yes, the rest of the country is now calling him soft, but the spoiled KU fans have been calling him soft for a long time, right? And by this, the fans that the expectations are so high, right? That's what I would, and I don't mean that so I have to be careful when I say it. I don't mean it in a negative light, but there's a lot of KU fans that only know the best and only expect the best, and the reality of situations doesn't get to enter the equation, and that's totally fine. That's Alabama football, that's KU, whatever you want to say. Yeah, they've been doing it too. It's hard to watch those though, and even those fans be like, all right, fine, all right, fine, that because that's where I think we've both been in a lot of people that like, it doesn't matter to me if it's 10 minutes or 12 minutes or 18 minutes or 20 minutes or 24 minutes or whatever it is in a game, whatever it is that they can get, they got to have. Because they're just not a good enough offense without him.
Perfect example of what you're talking about. I texted one of my buddies that's a big old KU homer. I was like, I need to know what your thoughts are, because I feel like I'm a little, impartial, but slightly. So I was like, I need to know what the real KU fans think about this. And he's like, he's Kobe Bryant, but he's really soft. And then he hit the back-to-back threes to win the game. And he said, but man, when he's playing, he's the best player in the country.
Yeah. And it's not, and that's the part, I guess, that I don't think it's soft. I think it's cautious. I think it's careful. I think so.
Like I said yesterday, if he was soft and didn't want to play, he would not be in Lawrence, Kansas.
Or he wouldn't have come back in Colorado. That's the one I keep, like, it's not the, like, he played through a snapped ankle, it looked like. It's the cramps that are freaking everybody out. That has to be, it has to be that simple. It really does. All right, we'll come back. We'll get you ready for Shocker basketball tonight. We've got the headlines I probably missed, and Trias Lada joins our KU Insider. Busy next hour. Stick around.
This is 97.5 and 1240 KFH, Wichita, K248CY Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic. Be aware of road work on Southeast Boulevard northbound at 31st Street. It's causing a slight backup. And heading on to K96 eastbound from I-235, expect some delays. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey Wichita traffic.
Weather. A few sprinkles this morning, otherwise cloudy and cool. High temperature 43. Northwest wind 5 to 15. Becoming clear with some fog late tonight. Overnight low 25. Sunny, breezy, and warmer on Thursday, a high of 60. More sunshine on Friday and a high of 62. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
It's our duty to tell you about the Odyssey app. Hey, boss, is that good? Try again. Download the free Odyssey app now. Is that better? No.
97.5 and 1240 KFH. Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Hyde.
Break out your best Hawaiians, everybody. It's Wednesday, Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday here on Sports Daily, for at least half of us, 2/3 of us. Max also a participant. Max and I might be the only ones. Max, I am Paul Savage, but you gotta start somewhere. We're working on it. We're working on TJ. We never could get Tommy converted. I think Brandon Zenner was a believer in it. On the Wednesdays he was here on the show, but we'll listen, we'll get you there. I got to go back to something you said in the last hour, TJ, that blows my mind. You were talking, your wife watched the Pro Bowl with you?
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's
we don't still watch a little bit of soapy shows on Netflix sometimes when she's like by her, but like when she's by herself. Like I've told you guys this, like a couple of years ago, I came home for dinner one night. She was asleep on the couch watching Tennessee LSU women's basketball. And she's just like, yeah, have you seen Flo J? She's crazy this year. I was like, who are you?
Yeah, what's happening? My wife used to be that way with football, with the NFL. She's not anymore as much, but she did. When we first started dating, like, you did not miss a Chargers.
Speaking of your ESPN random programming, like, this is her peak time because, like, she, like, every night she's like, let's just watch something. It's like, what do you want to watch? It's a Tuesday night. She's like, there's a game on. Like, let's just go watch the SEC. Let's just watch something.
I love it.
Okay, I don't know anybody on the court right now.
Listen, that's more energy than I have a lot of the time for it. Sometimes it's like, it's Tuesday night. Let's watch something that doesn't have to do with sports, as we've been, staring at it in the face all day. We're here, though. We are rocking and rolling. One thing we do love is our college basketball. Big one tonight for the Shockers. We'll talk to Trias Lada later in the hour, our KU Insider. It's all What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring chili for a limited time. Hearty beef, no bean chili, perfect for lunch, and now available at all 3 WBC locations: East West, Historic Delano, Wichita Brewing Company. Pizza and beer made here. Get you plenty of Prairie Fire coffee to get through the morning. It was a no sleep kind of night here in the Albracht household. So plenty of coffee fueling us up here. We appreciate them. And a distracted night means plenty of headlines I probably didn't see, and TJ did. So Max, let's hit it.
All right, Sports Daily fans, let's take you to the sports headlines Jacob probably didn't see.
All right, sports headlines that Jacob probably didn't see. We start with that Pro Bowl. George Pickens, the offensive MVP last night. The one that took me away, though, Jamar Chase was playing defensive back for no reason other than just to have fun. One-handed interception for a pick six last night. Set the whole convention center on fire. But maybe the talk of the Pro Bowl, Micah Parsons was there, said he wanted to be there despite having ACL surgery. He had an electric scooter just riding around on the sidelines with a camcorder, and he tried to check into the game, and the referees would not let him play in the electric scooter. They had to kick him off. He said his electric scooter's name was Lightning McQueen, and it was the talk of the Pro Bowl last night. So that is headline.
I missed that, and I shouldn't have, because I'm going to have to go now look and find some of the clips of that. That's what it needs to be. That's what it needs to be.
It was a fun watch, like I said, for the first 12 minutes of the show. Next up, New Heights. New podcast comes out today. They released this one yesterday, and it made its rounds. Travis Kelce was doing the show apparently from Taylor Swift's house. I don't know if it's what house, but Taylor Swift's house, because he was sitting in a designer chair, was laughing, sat back, and it shattered underneath him. And he said, "Taylor is gonna kill me." So that is making its way around, that he broke one of Taylor Swift's chairs on New Heights.
I gotta look that one up.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's pretty funny video. I can't lie. I don't know if you've seen this one. This may be a little risque for the show, but I'm gonna say it anyways.
We're good there.
Mike Vrabel, have you seen the video of him in the preseason of the Bussin' with the Boys guys? Are you aware of Bussin' with the Boys? You know who those guys are?
Yes. I know that it exists. I've never consumed.
I haven't either. So did their thing with them, and they were, I don't know how they got on this conversation, but they said, like, what lengths would you go to win a Super Bowl? And like they kind of like threw a bunch of hypotheticals at him, and he basically said that like he would be fine with losing his manhood to win a Super Bowl. And now here he is in the Super Bowl, and they interviewed him at Radio Row yesterday, and he's like, "Can we make it like half? Can we just do half, and I can win the Super Bowl? Like, can we
talking about maturation here?"
I guess.
Oh man.
Now he's faced with a real uncomfortable situation.
Jeez. Really? Wow. Okay.
It's wild.
That's dedication.
Wild headline making the rounds. I got one for Max this morning too, though. Maxwell, I don't know if you saw this. Chuck Negron passed away yesterday. You know who that is, Jacob?
Negron? Name vaguely rings a bell.
God, how embarrassing. So, no. I knew it long before you guys knew it, because
I knew he did.
Wifey's former, her late husband's
Three Dog Night.
Her late husband's
Three Dog Night. Jeremiah
married.
Was a bullfrog.
Yeah. Okay. No, I don't. I mean,
Chuck.
I love music. I love bands. I am not tell you who the lead
I agree.
guitarist
I probably couldn't have told you who Chuck Negron was, but I know who Three Dog Night is for sure.
Oh yeah.
There's only one member left. No.
Really?
Danny Hutton.
My parents saw them at the Cotillion a couple years ago, actually. Should have gone. Never knew what you missed.
They came and played the Cotillion when?
Chuck wasn't
like 2
with
years
him.
ago.
Chuck wasn't
Did
with
you
him.
guys see that?
Was he not?
See the Cotillion's going to host a wrestling event?
Ooh.
It's kind of like the I think it's like the minor league system of WWE. They're coming to do Cotillion. It's like that would be
while you're sitting
a pretty awesome place to see a wrestling match.
While you're sitting at the tables that they have.
Yeah, they obviously can make floor seats. Yeah. I don't know about the entrances. The entrances might get a little tough, and it might just be like a house show. Yeah, that was Cotillion's a good spot. Three Dog Night would have been a great Cotillion show.
It's true. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got. Those are the headlines for you.
Those are good ones. Those are good ones. I've got to look up the Kelce. See, I got to look up the Kelce chair video now. I've got to look up the Micah Parsons buzzing around on a scooter video. This is why we need this. This is why we need this segment. TJ can enlighten. It's not just me. Listen, it's a lot of our listeners too.
Was
and
he
lighten
at her
us
house?
into what we missed. Yes,
Was he at her house in Rhode Island? She has.
I don't know. I don't know what house. I just know that it was her chair that was broken. Maybe it was at his house with her chair, but Taylor Swift's chair was broken. For those of you that care about the Taylor Swift furniture saga,
I also imagine she's got probably more than one residence, if I had to guess. Yeah, probably more. Probably more than one. What do you think he's gonna do?
I know.
He could have gone and had fun. He wasn't a Pro Bowler this year, but he could have gone and had fun with the guys out there, showed up on set at ESPN, done any of that. What did you put it? What did we never came up with a wager for that. We need to come up with a way, not like Mike Vrabel castration wager or anything like that, but something a little lighter perhaps on the return. Cause I think he's coming back. I think he's soaking in the private life right now this offseason as much as he can. And I think he's probably preparing to come back. Now, if he does, like, is he ever going to give us a swan song year? Would you ever want to do that, by the way? Like, would you ever want to be a swan song? I would hate it.
I would hate it. And it feels like it's a little bit of irony coming from two guys that are on television for a living and are fine with that part of it. But I agree. I don't like, I tell people that all the time. Like, whenever people ask me, like, I always like jest with them. And they're like, why did you want to go into TV? I'm like, oh, the glory and the fame, But like, I don't care at all about that kind of crap. Like, I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Especially in the NFL. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's an argument to be made about like in baseball, but like in the NFL, like that does not sound fun.
Like the Jeter getting cowboy boots every like that whole thing. I'm like, come on, man. Like, no, I don't. Nobody.
That's what I'm saying. Like in the NFL, like maybe I'd be even less inclined because it's just like, wow, congrats on a great career, Travis Kelce. Welcome back to Mile High Stadium. Now we're going to try to tackle you into the ground and pummel you in the sport that we play. Like, I don't have any time for that.
When Bruce left this show, it was, and we knew it was coming, and the responsibility you feel on something like that. We got to make this perfect for Bruce. He's been doing this forever, and so I'm trying to. And it was always be like this. It was like nothing, just that final segment. Give me about 90 seconds to say goodbye. And I'm like, I'm the same way. Like, I don't want that. Like, that kind of attention makes me uncomfortable.
I know. We've talked. I don't know if I've talked to you that much about it, but we've talked a lot about in TV. There's a lot of people that do the swans, and like you said, like a lot of them are like, hey, here's a minute, like, thanks for everything, I'm leaving. And then some people do it's like, yeah, we're gonna blow out a half hour of the show, like we're doing this.
Done that for the legends on K-Witch. Now that was not by their choice; they were told they were doing that. But like, I am big on the Irish goodbye. Yeah. My grandpa was the best Irish goodbyer, like the world famous at it, at disappearing. And I just like that kind of I don't mind it. Attention doesn't make me uncomfortable. It couldn't be if you did our line of work. That kind of attention, though, kind of makes me uncomfortable. Like, I don't need everybody fussing over that. Like, no. Like, we're fine. I get it. I don't know. I don't think he will. Which just means every offseason is like this. Like, well, are you or aren't you?
Andy Reid even more so. Andy Reid would hate that.
We don't even talk about Andy Reid retiring anymore, which is so funny because that was every offseason for about 4. It was like, is this it? And I'm like, where? Why does anybody, like, what, is he said something? Like, this guy seems to me like you're going to have to pry him off the field at some point. Kelsey's not maybe the same as Andy Reid, but yeah, I don't know. I think Andy Reid wouldn't want the attention of that either. It feels like one day they'll walk in and be like, all right, everybody, I'm done. Thanks for everything. I'm gonna do the next thing now, and you guys can all just move right along. And I think that's what we're gonna get from Kelce. And I think if he was gonna do it, it would have already happened. I really do. Like, why would he wait 2 months to retire? Maybe after the Super Bowl, I guess. You don't want to take the attention away from that. I think he's coming back. We got to come up with a wager on that. All right, when we come back, let's get you ready for Shockers Charlotte tonight. What do we expect?
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews, all on the app. Download today.
Buying pants shouldn't take this much effort. Too many options, inconsistent sizing, and styles that don't work across your day. You want something comfortable, sharp, and reliable without guessing, returning, or buying 5 different pairs. That's why there's Jack Archer.
Ah, yes. JackArcher.com simplifies everything with the Jet Setter Tech Pant. One versatile pair designed to take you from work to weekend without missing a beat. Easy to wear, easy to style, and easy to shop for. The Jet Setter Tech Pant is wrinkle-free, stain-resistant, and built for all-day comfort. They stretch, breathe, and hold their shape, giving you a consistent fit and polished look every time. Backed by thousands of 5-star reviews, they're the dependable pants you'll reach for daily.
Jack Archer, ready when you are. For a limited time, get 15% off your first order with code GETJACK at jackarcher.com. Again, that's promo code GETJACK at jackarcher.com for 15% off your first order.
You walk in tired and hungry, one bad dinner away from losing it. You don't like to cook. You don't want more takeout. You just want something good. That's why there's Dish by Blue Apron. Pre-made meals with at least 20 grams of protein and no artificial flavors or colors. From fridge to fork in 5 minutes or less. Keep the flavor. Ditch the subscription. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
What's up? It's Draymond Green, back for my 14th NBA season and the new season of my podcast, The Draymond Green Show. Unfiltered takes, real hoop talk, and big-time guests. There's no holding back, on the court or on the mic. Follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic. Give yourself a few extra minutes heading onto K96 eastbound from I-235. Traffic is backed up to 37th Street. The main roads are looking good. No major problems. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey Wichita traffic.
Weather. A few sprinkles this morning, otherwise cloudy and cool. High temperature 43, northwest wind 5 to 15. Becoming clear with some fog late tonight, overnight low 25. Sunny, breezy, and warmer on Thursday, a high of 60. More sunshine on Friday and a high of 62. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Basically, get out of the way.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
You know, the Rams moving forward, the big question is going to be about Matthew Stafford, and Sean McVay did not want to hear that question.
Do you expect Matthew Stafford to be back next season?
Yeah, if he still wants to play, what the hell kind of question is that?
I don't think it's a silly question.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
The Dan Patrick Show. Middays from 11 until 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Some people buy a $20 strawberry. Others listen to us for free. One of these choices is smart.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Oh, okay, take it easy. We're going on the air.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Breaking my heart during the break. Our buddy Brandon Zinner, who I said I thought was sort of in on Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday, says he's not, but that's okay. It's all right. Look, no big deal. I get it. You guys want to Scrooge out. I don't know what the resistance is all about.
You know the sound whenever your alarm goes off in the morning? You know how it like sends you into that shock of like, oh, it makes you want to throw up, and then you hear it throughout the day and it makes you want to throw up whenever you hear that sound again?
Is that what you feel like when you hear Max?
I hear that stupid music? Ukulele turn on. And oh God.
Well, I want you to just take a minute, take a breath, and realize what you sound like right now. Okay? That level of Scrooge, that level of grump, you're not old enough for that yet. That usually develops later in life. I just, I don't know what to tell you. Just enjoy life. Have a little fun.
I think this is more so less of that Scrooge and more so the feeling of like when your dad does something that's annoying or embarrassing. That like the age gap here is where I can feel that towards you two and just say,
but that is the entire purpose of it, right? That's the whole point of Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Is like, Dad, who cares what anybody thinks? I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt. I have a closet full of Hawaiian shirts. Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday was a part of my life well before
this isn't a bit for Jacob. Jacob wears Hawaiian shirts unironically.
All the time. All the time. So when Savage shows up with one, like over the top of a sweatshirt, I'm like, oh, hey, cool, nice Hawaiian. You know what? We should wear Hawaiians every Wednesday. I think that's about how it started. I got a closet full of them. You know why? Mostly to annoy my wife. Like, mostly that's what it is, right? Like, yeah, you just... Cool. I'm gonna wear Hawaiian today. Glad that everybody's playing along here. Look, some people just get it, and some people don't. And someday you'll have kids, and you'll want to annoy.
Maybe that's what I need. Maybe when that kid is born, the first Hawaiian will be bought.
Well, that's a part of being. I mean, you've got a house now. You appreciate mowing the yard. Like all the other things are falling right in line for you.
By the way, this is an argument, before we get into Shocker Talk, this is an argument that made the rounds when the snow came down. Would you rather mow the grass or shovel snow?
Is that a real question?
I know. That's what I thought, too.
I mean, is there anyone on the planet who would rather shovel snow than mow the grass?
I agree. People are acting though like this is so satisfying. Like, yeah, but it sucks.
So satisfying? It's cold? Like, no.
My back hurts. Not. Even if you're push mowing your yard, that's way better.
Yeah, no. Even if most of us are. I push mow my yard. It's therapeutic. The only part about mowing the grass that gets annoying is when it gets just blistering hot. But even then, it's fine, right? You just, you do whatever. That's another thing I do when another way I like to annoy my wife is to like, I put on like a bandana and tie it around my head for the sweat.
You're the worst person I've ever met.
just right out there in the front yard with like bright red shorts and just absolutely, and just to watch her roll her eyes. Like that's the satisfaction I need. That's the satisfaction are you watching Landman by chance?
I'm not, show. But I'm aware.
So I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody. We just finished that last night, actually. And there is a part where one of the characters, when they're going through something difficult, like where is he? He's like, he's out mowing the yard. It's like, oh yeah. Like there's like this moment of the other being like, yep, I get it. That's where I'd be if I was needing some time to think too. Like nobody does that with shoveling snow. You don't wake up to get out there and mow the grass.
There's also the people that I've seen that are, I don't know who I saw said this, but like you can't wait till it's done snowing to shovel. You need to shovel while the snow is coming. And then that way that you're not going all at once. You're doing increments.
No, that's again, like, awful. Why would you do that? Why would you want to shovel it twice?
Honestly, like I have a truck, like Paul Mills told us, I've got a truck. Why am I shoveling the driveway anyways?
Well, mine is, I completely agree with that sentiment. Like, what's the point? Except I have kids that have to walk out there to get on the bus. And True. When that stuff refreezes, it's a free-for-all. Like, they bust their butts trying to get on that bus. So I got to shovel it for that reason as much as anything else. But, what's the point of this? Like, we'll just drive on the snow. It's going to melt. Show snuffling. God, who does that? Anyway, speaking of Paul Mills, speaking of the Shockers, Charlotte tonight. Here's a headline TJ probably. Don't look. What do you think the line is tonight? Have you looked at that yet?
I haven't. Oh, man. Are they going to be favored over Charlotte? I think that Charlotte is probably a 2-point favorite.
You're as off on a line as I can remember us guessing lines. And that's fine. That's not like I would have been the same way had I not looked at this.
Was it like Charlotte by 10?
More off on that line.
Is it like Charlotte by 10?
It's the Shockers by 9.5.
What the hell is that?
So before, like when I was last night kind of just getting ready for things we're going to talk about on the show and everything. And I'm looking at, and I did this a little bit yesterday too, like Charlotte, where do you think Charlotte in KenPom. Where do you think they rank in the American?
They're like 70, I think, aren't they?
No, they're above the
Shockers.
They're the 7th best KenPom team.
You're right. Yeah, that's right. Coach Mills talked about that because they were their non-con was terrible,
and they were missing players. He said, right?
Yes.
So
they lost to Davidson, Virginia Tech, Appalachian State, Illinois State, Richmond, Utah State, and Charleston, and then they got into conference play and they've only lost 2 games.
It's a perfect example of why this stuff is so hard. Now, typically, and this is where I've always thought, like, if you're a bettor, there are some advantages to catch in college basketball. That would be the kind of thing that you'd be talking about there. But I will tell you, TJ, that if you go and look, so the overall this season, in the conference, they're only averaging about 3.5 more points a game. They're actually giving up a little bit more than they were in the non-con. So, like, when you hear Mills tell us it's like a different looking team because they had some injuries and things, like, I don't really know how to set an expectation for this, but 9.5 point favorites is wild to think about. Wichita State should have beat them the first time they played, right? I don't think anybody disagrees with that. But I also don't think if you're Charlotte, you're accidentally now 9 games into conference 7-2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just so weird. I'm digging deep into this now. They beat the Shaw Bears, which is the Division II school in the CIAA, by 4 points in November.
The net does not disagree either. The net is kind of the same way.
That's so wild. I don't remember a polarizing, I don't know if that's the right word, discrepancy between your overall season and your conference season that I'm looking at with Charlotte.
We'll see. I do think, though, it should probably help us recalibrate tonight.
It's weird. This is a really weird one because, like, look at, they beat UTSA. They beat UTSA like a drum. They beat Rice by 1. They beat Tulane by 3. They only beat East Carolina by 3. So it's like they're beating teams that they should be beating, but not very much. But then they find ways to beat good teams too.
They got drummed by Tulsa and Temple are their 2 losses. They should have lost to the Shockers. Their wins, though, like if you go look up and down the standings, and they beat Temple in overtime, so they split with Temple. It is Rice, Tulane, East Carolina, Rice, UTSA, and the win over Wichita State.
Yeah, I mean they haven't
beat any of the good teams. They beat Wichita State, so they beat one of the good teams. It probably should recalibrate. So I'm going to the game tonight with my family, and this is a game. So we look at all that, we know all that, and Paul Mills, of course, is going to tell, well, they're actually pretty good. But coach talk is different than this talk, and this talk is, okay, everything now is staring us at the face. There's the revenge aspect for this for Wichita State. They need to come out and they need to push them around a little bit. This needs to be a good, convincing win. I mean, the implications in the standings are significant.
Yeah.
Right? Charlotte's 2 games, Charlotte and Tulsa, 2 games ahead of Wichita State. Wichita State needs a little bit of help with both of them. They both are going to have to lose another one somewhere. The Shockers, though, they can handle business a little bit because they play them each again. Charlotte tonight and Tulsa later in the year at home. That when we talk about everything being in front of the Shockers, everything's in front of the Shockers.
Yep.
Right? Like their opportunities are right there in front of them to go do whatever it is that they're going to do. There is some control left with this many games to play for Wichita State. Wichita State hasn't even played. I mean, would you say they've played the softer portion of their American schedule yet?
I don't know, halfway there.
They really don't. They don't really get one. They do get East Carolina.
It doesn't really get that much easier.
Yeah, they get Tulane. They get East Carolina again. Those are both road games, though, and they get UTSA, which is a road game. So you can look at that a lot of different ways. But the softer games that they'll play are all on the road. Now, they have plenty of opportunities left in that, too, though. Charlotte, South Florida, Tulsa, Temple, teams, FAU, teams they need to beat are all still on the schedule as well. So it really is. Like, if the Shockers are great down the stretch, they will be in control. Let's say the Shockers, we all call it 5 losses. Is it going to be 5? I don't even know if it's going to be 5. I mean, I guess, Tulsa would have to lose 3. So they have 9 games left. Do they have 8-1 in them?
The Shockers?
Yeah.
Depends if you can beat Tulsa and Memphis.
See, I think they could have it in them. Now you got to go to Memphis, but Tulsa you get back at home, and Tulsa's really good.
I'm looking at the Ken Palm says, what'd you say, 8-1? They've got 7-2.
Yeah, and that may be good enough for second. I don't know if it'd be good enough for first.
The thing is, though, to your point that you always make that I push back on, I'll take this side today, is that winning this conference is great, but if you want to get to March Madness, second place is sure. But listen, second place in the conference this year with the new layout is significant. Like, can you win 3 games in Birmingham is all you have to do. You don't have to win 5 like we used to have to. Like, if you can go down there and win 1, 2, 3, you're in March Madness. If you win the conference, you have to win 2 games. I believe I'll have to look at it, but it's the gauntlet. They're building it up that way. If you're going to be East Carolina, if East Carolina snuck in, they'd have to win 8 games.
I'll tell you why I like that, because
it makes the games worth something.
Well, it's a league that kind of looks like it's going to live in that 1, maybe 2 bid league, range. So you're making, if we know that winning the conference tournament is a part of it, then you have to add emphasis to the regular season. So
yes,
I think I like it. I mean, I like that they're doing this. It's and I thought you were going to go this way, is that it doesn't really matter what they do in these games. If this was a year for Wichita State where, they're coming off of a couple of top 3 finishes in the American and you're feeling good, then I would be like, let's just get to the tournament. That's not the case, right? I don't think it is.
I'm with you. I always take this side of it where the games matter, and they have to matter because you want to win conference championships.
Well, and right now for Wichita State, you're trying to reignite a fan base.
That's
right?
True.
We know this. We use the example all the time, but it's not just the example of the TBT this summer. This goes back forever. If you can get fans on board with the idea of it's a big game, fans are they'll be there.
That game against Memphis, they almost sold it out.
Awesome crowd.
They almost sold it out last year against K-State. For a team that we watched lose to UMKC the game before. And I get that that's a little bit of a K-State push in that as well, but they showed up. You know why they did that? Because it's it's K-State, that's a big game. There was a good crowd against Memphis in a blizzard because it's it's Memphis, that's a big game. Do fans care about Charlotte, even though they're first place in the conference? Probably not. It's not as big of a name. That's the hard part of this.
Yeah, so it's the weekday 6:30, right? That'll make it hard to justify too. But what it won't do is, let's say, what is FAU to finish the season, a 4:00 game on what I think is a Sunday, Saturday at 4:00 game against FAU, national TV, and you got a chance to, let's say you got a chance to win the league or even finish top 3, top 2. That buys on the line. How many teams in the new tournament format get it? 2?
I think a lot of them get buys, just no matter what buy you get.
The one way
I think it's
the top 2, right?
I'll look it up. Whatever.
I haven't dug into that yet, and I should. That's going to become a big crowd at that point. So I think when you look at these kinds of games against Charlotte, it reminds me maybe a little of the North Texas game. There's something on the line tonight. There's something on the line. We look at it and care more about, can they bounce back? Can they not let 1 loss turn into 2 losses? Can they do the things I'm looking at it still as, is this team showing us they can win a conference tournament?
Mm-hmm.
But they're right there in the standings. They're right there.
1 and 2 get buys all the way to the semifinals. 3 and 4 get buys all the way to the quarterfinals.
Okay.
5 and 6 get a bye to the second round, and then the first round is 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, it justifies our top 4 in the league. I think you were with me on that before the season. The base, the floor needed to be top 4 in the league. I stand by that.
If you're top 4, you have to win 3 games. If you're top 2, you have to win 2 games.
But let's just say no games have been there are no conference standings, but we've seen the teams play like we have, right? So we know enough about the teams, and you're restacking this. Where does Wichita State stack in? right? Like records aside, just roster to roster, where do you think the Shockers stack into this thing?
I mean, I think that. Let me pull up a list here. Tulsa's number one.
Yes.
Tulsa's number one. Then it's probably. I mean, you could say FAU probably, and then I think it's like Wichita State and Memphis, and then like South Florida, and then the rest.
I'd probably go South Florida, maybe a little bit higher. But I am with you generally speaking. It's Florida Atlantic, it's Memphis, it's Wichita State, South Florida, and Tulsa. Those was that 5, right? So those are the 5 I think that are better than the rest. So then if you take those 5, where should Wichita State roster to roster be among those 5? I would say at least third. At least. I don't know that they have any business losing to Florida Atlantic at home. Later we'll see that. That's the finale of the conference.
Yeah, here's your answer. KenPom per net rating, which is the KenPom stat that ranks everybody, all 365. Tulsa, South Florida, Wichita State.
Yep, and then Memphis and Florida Atlantic. And I think I agree with that, by the way. And they beat South Florida. Can they beat Tulsa at home? Can't wait for that game all of a sudden. Like, I love that game. But
Valentine's Day. Get your honey out there.
What can't happen, though, down the stretch here is the head-scratching, how did they lose to Rice? Like, there can't be any more of those. Those can't happen. You probably got to win them all at home, which is a huge ask. Huge ask. And then still go to Memphis and win, which is also a huge ask.
If you if you want to win it all, like, I don't know. I mean, how many more can they afford? What do we say? They're at 4 losses already.
One. I don't think Tulsa's going to lose 3 games down the stretch.
I don't think so. I agree. I think you have to literally beat everybody.
I think Charlotte lose. I think Charlotte might.
Yeah.
Charlotte outside of this one against Wichita State, which again, Wichita State's a 9.5-point favorite. For those out there, I don't know what kind of piece of that anybody wants. But then Charlotte follows that up. They go to Memphis this weekend. They still have to go to Tulsa. They go to Florida Atlantic and to South Florida. I'll bet you Charlotte loses at least 4 conference games more, and I think it could be more than that. But we'll find out tonight. I can't wait to watch it. Shockers will play over on KUIN. When we return, we'll go to a little KU talk again. Trace Lotta joins us, our KU Insider, next on Sports Daily.
.97.5 and 1240 KFH.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews, all on the app. Download today.
As a man, finding a great pair of pants feels harder than it should. Some look sharp but feel stiff. Others are comfortable but wrinkle, stain, or lose their shape by noon. And if you're working, traveling, or constantly on the move, most pants just cannot keep up. That's where Jack Archer comes in.
JackArcher.com delivers one pair of pants designed for real life. Whether it's golf with the guys or date night with someone special, these pants will keep you comfortable and looking polished wherever the day takes you.
That's right, Mark. The Jack Archer Jet Setter Tech Pant is wrinkle-free, stain-resistant, and built to hold its shape all day. With customizable fit options and multiple colors, these are the one pair of pants you'll want to wear every day.
Jack Archer, ready when you are. For a limited time, get 15% off your first order with code GETJACK at jackarcher.com. Again, that's promo code GETJACK at jackarcher.com for 15% off your first order.
Hi, I'm Melissa Banashai, CEO and co-founder of Baked by Melissa. As a mom, I find deciding what to make for dinner the hardest decision of my day. That's why I'm partnering with Blue Apron to bring you delicious and nutritious dinners that are quick and easy like your mom. Just kidding. Your mom's amazing. Get 35% off your first order at Blue Apron with promo code Melissa. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more. Okay, love you. Bye.
What's up? It's Draymond Green. I'm back for my 14th NBA season, and my podcast, The Draymond Green Show, is back too. This season, I'm breaking down games, reacting to the biggest NBA stories, and sitting down with teammates, rivals, and culture shapers. And trust me, I'm not holding back, on the court or on the mic. 2 new episodes every week, new segments, big conversations, real basketball talk for the real hoop heads. Listen to and follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're back, we're better, let's get it.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic. Watch for a little congestion heading onto K96 eastbound from I-235 and I-135. The main roads are looking good. No major problems. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey Wichita traffic.
Weather. A few sprinkles this morning, otherwise cloudy and cool. High temperature 43. Northwest wind 5 to 15. Becoming clear with some fog late tonight. Overnight low 25. Sunny, breezy, and warmer on Thursday, a high of 60. More sunshine on Friday and a high of 62. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Basically, get out of the way.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
First thing I thought of when I was told this, and even said this back to the voter, I go, well, what's this mean for Tom Brady? And he goes, I didn't even think of that. I said, well, be consistent. Now, are you going to vote for Belichick next year? If you didn't vote for him this year, so you're going to say, I'm holding him accountable. Don't vote for him ever again.
The Dan Patrick Show, middays from 11 until 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
James Harden has found his way to another franchise to chase a ring. He was traded to the Cavaliers on Tuesday. I have no issue with a guy trying to win a championship. That's kind of the whole point of playing, to win championships. I'm just unsure how this is all going to fit. Mitchell and Harden are both hoopers. Nobody's doubting that, but it feels like Harden doesn't address the problems that Cleveland had on its roster. I'm curious to see how these two pieces fit together. I'm Denton Day.
Tide is the official sponsor of Odyssey's big game coverage. Tune in all week long for nonstop previews and analysis leading up to kickoff on February 8th. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide.
Dude, you gotta hear this.
Go ahead. I think I want to hear this.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
Down and vibe. I don't know what you have against the Islands. Happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday, everybody. Glad to be here with you on Sports Daily. Jake Albracht, TJ Cleveland. We are rocking and rolling through this Wednesday. Enjoy the warm-up. It was a little brief cool-down we're dealing with here today, and then 50s, 60s the rest of the week. Shreyas Laddha, our KU insider, beat reporter for the KC Star at SHRE98 on X. Shreyas, are you guys catching the same warm we're catching down here up in Lawrence?
I haven't checked the weather today. I think it's getting warmer though. Thank God. I'm tired of the cold weather.
Are you mow the grass or shovel the snow? Which do you prefer as a man's activity?
Can I say none of the above? I guess I guess I'm shovel the snow because I haven't had a house yet to mow the grass.
Okay.
Besides when I was a kid.
Just wait. You'll be Hank Hill in it with the rest of us soon enough. Soon enough. Is Hank Hill still? Oh, they redid King of the Hill, actually. I didn't watch the new ones.
Damn it, Bobby.
One of the all-time most underrated shows ever is King of the Hill. Just an incredible show. Those are the towns I grew up in, by the way. Like, that is my life growing up. All right, Shreyas. So, look, you'd asked me on Monday what we'd be talking about. It's that Darren Peterson sat out the second half against BYU. You asked me today, and it's that Darren Peterson played the whole game, ice water in his veins, didn't play very well, but still hit the two biggest shots of the game. Welcome back to the Darren Peterson experience, everybody.
Yeah, those one of the most interesting games up to those last 90 seconds. I'd say that was the worst Darren Peterson game he's had. And then you blink, he hits 2 big shots. KU somehow won that game. I'm stressed out of my mind in Lubbock trying to rewrite half my story in the last 15 seconds. It came out well, both stories that I did there. I was happy about that. But honestly, he's so talented, man. I mean, it's just, let's just be happy he's playing basketball. Be grateful that you're getting to watch him play college basketball because he should be in the league right now. I know everyone wants to talk about the cramp stuff. He's clearly not moving, I think, as well as you hope. I don't know if you guys saw that against Texas Tech.
I saw him hobbling back on defense one time, but to me it was more about he just didn't look good.
Yeah.
And I did see that, and then he sat out for a minute, and I was texting TJ. I was like, does he have the wraps on? Like, is he done? And
I thought he was done. And that point, remember when he went out in the second half? Where
yeah, that's what I'm talking about, yeah.
I was like, I think he might be done. And then he came back. I'm like, oh, he's coming back. It seems like Bill's just kind of, they're kind of like, okay, it's going to have to be a little bit of a pain management thing. To me, everything I've heard, like these grand conspiracy theories that I'm seeing on Twitter, guys, nobody's doing any real reporting. Get the camp on the phone. Do something. The national guys haven't got anybody on the phone. And obviously, I talked to his coach last week. I've been texting him, talked to some people in his camp. Like, he has cramps, guys. They have legitimate cramps. This is not some grand conspiracy that his agent is telling him to come out of the game. Yes, it was weird that one of the associate ADs talked to his agent, but that's not that crazy because his agent was also talking to a bunch of NBA execs. And let's think logically here, guys. Why would he leave a game that he had 18 points on 7 shots against his biggest rival in front of 32 NBA scouts or NBA front offense execs? I think everyone just wants this, like, he's load managing. Like, what a stupid time to
I'm Trace, I'll tell you, I'm very proud that Sports Daily has not worn tinfoil hats about this because it's the first thing that we said is that, like, you see all this stuff and it has gotten legs like it's never gotten before this past week because of the things that happened in that BYU game. But the obvious debunk is, like, why wouldn't he want to play against AJ DeBonsa? Like, why does that help him at all? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And then you think about he played through a hurt ankle in Colorado as part of it. And then to your point in your story you did with his high school coach, if he didn't want to play, he wouldn't even be in Lawrence right now.
It's driving me nuts because nobody's doing the actual real journalism. You're sending me a video that you saw on Twitter or some guy overheard something. And I'm like, you guys are national guys and you can't get anybody from Darren Peterson's camp on the phone. How is somebody from the Kansas City Star beating you right now? Like it shouldn't be that hard. Your ESPN, your CBS, like that CBS article where they talk to anonymous scouts. I wrote that story 3 weeks ago, not to be on the soapbox, but I wrote that 3 weeks ago where I said, yeah, nothing has changed. His draft stock is not being affected by the fact that he can't play basketball games all the time. It's just, this entire situation has just made me realize the reporting world is filled with lazy people that don't want to go out there and actually do the work, and will put conjecture out there instead of having conversations, trying to figure out what's going on, and thinking logically about things.
There is a difference in a blogger and you.
But this was CBS.
I know. I get it.
Reporter.
AI is going to be writing for CBS before too long, Trius. Like, let's be real about it. They will be. So, like, to me, it's always been logical. When we see him, which game did he miss the dunk and land flat on the small of his back? Mm-hmm. And then the Colorado game where he rolls his ankle and comes back in. Versus a cramp means an immediate departure from the game and no return. Like, to me, the logical answer to all of this is nobody knows what's causing the cramps. Nobody knows when they're going to come. But if and when they come, that's it for that game. Like, they're not going to push through the cramps, either because he can't, because they don't want him to, whatever it is. Like, that's what it is. If he cramps, he's out for the game. And nothing has changed about that.
And I think that's what people don't understand. You can say they're being overly cautious. I'm not sitting there and disagreeing with that sentiment. But I do think there is he genuinely has this cramping issue. And if he didn't, he would not be sitting or missing these games. Like, we haven't seen him look good burst-wise as much as he did in the BYU game. But if you go back and watch the Bill Self press conference, he talked about how he typically at halftime goes to the bike and he starts biking and he does all that stuff. And I don't think he was quite doing it at that game. Like, there's a lot of sentiment from even like national radio, like Aaron Torres, or Andrew, yesterday on Fox Sports. I was getting it with a little bit because he sent me a tweet on Twitter of like, oh, like, did you see? It's weird, man. He's not doing. I was like, well, he always has a heating pad on. Like, that's nothing new. If you watch any Kansas game, he's either has a heating pad on, or he's talking to a trainer, or he's stretching out. One of the three activities is happening, or he's off to the side on the exercise bike. There's like 4 things happening when he has cramps. It just depends on the severity of the cramp and what's happening. And just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. I think that's the biggest thing people don't realize. Just because the camera's not showing him on the sideline getting treatment doesn't mean he doesn't have some kind of issue. I think the biggest thing with me with this entire situation is people can't see cramps. People can physically see a turned ankle. So nobody wants to give him grace because it's something they clearly have not solved yet. We're in February. I thought it would be solved by now. I'm not I am a little surprised that it's still an issue, but at this point, it is what it is. It is February 4th. We're probably going to have to deal with it until the end of the season. And at that point, you just hope he can play through whatever he has come March when they're in the Sweet 16 and they desperately need him to play 35 minutes a game.
Listen, Shreyas, people are going to think that we're carrying water for Darren Peterson here. This is just journalism, business, and ethics. You take that class. I was like my sophomore year. I took that class of the way that you have to do things to verify things. Going back to Texas Tech, I kind of listened to the press conference. I didn't know if you got a better read on this or not. Did he cramp and come back in, or was there no cramps? Bill Self basically said, "I didn't ask him. I don't want to know."
I think he was playing through cramps a little bit.
Which is good, right?
Discomfort. Yeah, I think it's good. And I mean, honestly, to be honest with you, he was like in the second half, he was non-existent for almost every time until the last 90 seconds. Like, I've never seen him be a complete non-factor in a half until I saw the Texas Tech game. And then you see the last 2 shots he hit, 2 biggest shots of his career so far. And they come out with a win. They basically steal a win in Lubbock, which they had no business winning. I mean, I wrote about it in my story. They were out rebound on the offensive glass. They turned the ball over more. They had more 3-point shots made. Texas Tech did than Kansas, like 12-6, and somehow KU won that game. Like, that is a gritty, quintessential Bill Self road win that I think has been missing from these type of squads in the last few years.
To me, and I agree with you, I thought that was as good as Bill Self. Like, whenever you say he's one of the best, like, go back and watch the things that he did in that to stop the Tech run, like all the different little tiny things that were happening. But it also tells us a little bit about this team. They didn't look that good. In fact, they looked pretty bad offensively, even with Peterson out there. But that's that defense. They have 2 bigs. They can switch 5 defenders. They have 2 bigs guarding point guards out there, and they can both do it and do it fine. If that's the floor, right? If the floor is that level of defense, I think the ceiling is as high as we can get it. The problem to me, Shreyas, is how good is the offense? Because Darren's going to get easy buckets in certain games, but I thought that was a good example of when he's not good, because I agree, he wasn't. They struggled offensively.
They absolutely did. I think it was interesting. I felt like they really struggled shooting the ball. They only had, I think, until the Darren Peterson kind of 2 miracle threes, really, they had 4 3-pointers mid all game. You can't win a lot of basketball games where your opponent makes 12 and you make 4 and somehow come out on top. And they did, because they did a great job of getting inside and getting some good buckets late in the game. Offensively, it was not a great game for anybody. It looked like, you go back and look at the stat sheet, I think Melvin Council was the only one who shot decently. It was a weird game. Tiller was non-existent outside of that one really nice and one shot. I think they need to play a little more offense through him. Flory didn't have a particularly great offensive game, but that defense lets you hang around a lot of games they have no business hanging around in. And if the offense could figure it out like they did, in those last 10 minutes of that Texas Tech game, it's going to win you a lot of basketball games. Like, that defense is top 5, top 10 in the nation when they're locked in good, right? That offense is not top 10, but it can be top 10 if Darren and the offense is looking as good as it did against BYU or Iowa State or Baylor.
Yeah, Shreyas, they always say you can't overlook the trap game, but I'm going to overlook it because I'm not on the team. I don't care about Utah. Let's talk about Arizona next week. I posed this question to Jacob. Is KU going to be favored over Arizona at home?
Oh, that's a great question.
Can they beat them? They can. Can they beat them? That's the question.
I think they can beat them. Okay, so let's think about.
For sake, BYU was favored over Arizona when they hosted them last week.
Yeah, but let's think about this. Typically, odds makers give +3 as a home court advantage. Okay, I think KU will be favored by like 1.5.
No.
Going into that game, especially if KU.
It feels like it's a pick 'em because it's in Allen Field.
Yeah. I think that's where I'm at. I think KU has a real chance of winning that game. Like, not to be like.
I do too. There are two teams to me that can athlete with KU when KU's fully healthy. It's Houston and it's Arizona. And so if Arizona is, I mean, that's as explosive and big and fast a team as you'll ever see in college basketball. But I think KU can handle that, right? They've got the same thing going for them. It's can they score on Arizona that would be the concern.
I completely agree. I think it's going to be really interesting, and you're going to have an A+ Darren Peterson that game. I think he's going to have to hit some tough buckets. He's going to have to do things that Darren Peterson can do that nobody else can do. Like, you need him to play like he played against BYU to have a shot to beat Arizona.
Can't wait for it. We'll read up on it after we get through the Utah.
Trius,
hold on. How was Lubbock? Was that your debut in Lubbock?
No. I was there in October when
you win. Have you been able to catch the Lubbock bar scene?
I have not. It was such a quick trip. I flew in, flew out the next day.
Okay. Yeah. You didn't get the good. There's only really, in my opinion, one good part of Lubbock, and you didn't catch it. All right, Trius. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Go to the KC Star. Find Trius's reporting, especially after Utah. That Arizona preview should be good stuff. All right, we'll be right back with more Sports Daily.
Basically, get out of the way.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
First thing I thought of when I was told this, and even said this back to the voter, I go, well, what's this mean for Tom Brady? And he goes, I didn't even think of that. I said, well, be consistent. Now, are you going to vote for Belichick next year? If you didn't vote for him this year, so you're going to say, I'm holding him accountable. Don't vote for him ever again.
The Dan Patrick Show, middays from 11 until 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Right now.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
But the voters voted. I don't like the process of it. You have every right. If you don't want to vote Bill Belichick, you think he's a cheater, and I'm going to get my pound of flesh here. Okay. If you tell me that, there should be transparency with this. Just tell me. You did or you didn't.
The Dan Patrick Show, middays from 11 until 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH. KFH's Big Game coverage is presented nationally by Tide. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
As a man, finding a truly great pair of pants can feel impossible. Some wrinkle the moment you sit down. Others look fine but don't travel well, don't move well, or completely lose their shape throughout the day. When you're flying, commuting, or packing light, most pants just aren't built for real life.
That's why there's Jack Archer. JackArcher.com makes the Jet Setter Tech Pant designed to be the one pair of pants you actually need. Comfortable enough for travel, polished enough for work, and versatile enough for wherever the day takes you. The Jet Setter Tech Pant is wrinkle-free, stain-resistant, and built for all-day comfort. With flexible stretch, customizable fit options, and thousands of 5-star reviews, these are the pants you'll reach for every day.
Jack Archer, ready when you are. For a limited time, get 15% off your first order using code GETJACK at jackarcher.com. Again, that's promo code GETJACK at jackarcher.com for 15% off your first order.
What's up? It's Draymond Green, back for my 14th NBA season and the new season of my podcast, The Draymond Green Show. Unfiltered takes, real hoop talk, and big-time guests. There's no holding back, on the court or on the mic. Follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcast.